Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question right now. How many of you want to be wealthy, not just rich for a moment, not just a one-time big paycheck? I'm talking about lasting, sustainable, unshakable wealth. The kind of wealth that gives you the power to live life on your terms, that lets you wake up when you want, go where you want, and give when you want. But let's get real, wealth doesn't come to the lucky, it comes to the disciplined. It doesn't come to those who just work hard. It comes to those who work smart and follow rules that never break. That's why today I want to give you 7 unbreakable rules that, if you follow them, will not just make you wealthy, they will transform your relationship with money forever. Rule 1. Pay yourself first. Always, this is non-negotiable. Before you pay your bills, before you upgrade your phone, before you do anything, you pay yourself. I don't care if it's 10%, 15%, 20%. Set it aside no matter what. Wealthy people don't wait to see what's left over. They decide in advance what comes off the top. Because if you can't manage $1, you'll never manage $1 million. People say, "Tony, I don't have enough to save." That's not true. You don't have the habit to save. Start with $1. Start with a dime. It's not about the amount. It's about developing the muscle. When you learn to pay yourself first, you declare to the universe, and more importantly to yourself, that you value your future more than your present impulses. Rule 2. Know where every dollar goes. Most people treat money like a mystery. Where did it all go? They say at the end of the month, but wealthy people know this. What you track grows. If you don't know where your money's going, you're already losing the game. You need to treat your money like a soldier. Every dollar should have a mission, a purpose. It should be working for you, not wandering around aimlessly. Use a budgeting system. Automate your investments. Check your accounts weekly. This is not about being obsessed, it's about being empowered. Rule 3. Don't work for money, make money work for you. This one's huge. You will never achieve lasting wealth trading time for money. You've got 24 hours in a day, just like everybody else. If you want to grow wealth, you need leverage. You need to build assets that generate income while you sleep. That means investing. In businesses, in real estate, in stocks, in your own skills. That means creating streams of income that flow even when you're not on the clock. The wealthy think in systems, the broke think in paychecks. Stop being a laborer in your own life. Start being the architect. Rule 4. Master the game of compounding. Einstein called compounding the 8th wonder of the world, and he was right. Because compounding is the closest thing we have to financial magic. But you've got to start early, and you've got to be consistent. Let me tell you something that will blow your mind. If you invest just $300 a month starting at age 25, and you do it consistently in a modest index fund with an average return, by the time you're 65 you'll have over $1 million. That's not lottery money. That's discipline and time working together, and if you wait until you're 35, you'll have less than half that amount. Time isn't just money, it's your greatest asset. Rule 5. Protect the downside. Play defense as hard as you play offense. You want to be wealthy. Stop trying to hit financial home runs. Start avoiding financial disasters. You don't need to make 50% returns. You just need to not lose everything. That means insurance. That means an emergency fund. That means avoiding high-interest debt like it's poison, because it is. The credit card companies are not your friends. The system is rigged against the financially uneducated. If you don't protect the downside, you'll be wiped out the first time life throws you a curveball, and it will throw you one. Smart investors don't just look for gains, they obsess about preservation. Rule 6. Raise your standard. Your net worth grows as your identity grows. Wealth is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. If you don't believe you're worthy of wealth, you will sabotage it every time. Your thermostat around money determines your outcomes. If you're set to just enough to get by, that's exactly what you'll create. But if you shift your identity to someone who is abundant, someone who builds, someone who creates value in the world, you'll begin to see opportunities everywhere. You'll start to attract ideas, people, and situations that align with that new standard. Raise your standard and your bank account will follow. Rule 7. Give more than you think you can afford. This one surprises people. Tony, how does giving make me wealthy? Let me tell you, when you give, you step into a mindset of abundance, and abundance attracts more abundance. Scarcity repels it. Give not just when it's convenient, but when it's a stretch. Donate to causes, help someone in need, give without expecting anything in return. Because when you give, you break the chains of fear around money. You stop worshiping it, and ironically, that's when it flows to you even faster. Wealthy people don't cling, they contribute, and in doing so, they grow. So here's what I want you to do right now. Decide which of these rules you're going to commit to today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, because wealth is not an accident, it's a decision, a series of decisions. Stack the right ones, and you build a fortress no economy, no inflation, no recession can shake. The world doesn't need more people chasing money. The world needs more people who master it, so they can use it to serve, to grow, and to lead. You were not born to be broke. You were born to be abundant. Now go live like it. Are you ready to master your money, or will your money continue to master you? Wealth is not a result of luck. It's the outcome of consistent, strategic decisions based on unbreakable rules. Most people grow up believing that wealth is something inherited, something that happens to the fortunate few, something reserved for lottery winners, celebrities, or financial geniuses. But that belief is a lie. Wealth is not reserved for the few. It's a formula, it's a blueprint, it's built by design, not by chance. When you look closely at self-made millionaires and billionaires, people who started with nothing, no trust fund, no connections, no inside track, what you find isn't a streak of luck, you find patterns. You find habits. You find decisions made over and over again with discipline and clarity. Let's strip away the myths. Winning the lottery is not a wealth strategy. Waiting for a miracle bonus or raise that suddenly makes your life easier is not a wealth plan. Hope is not a strategy. Wealth doesn't bow to hope, it bows to structure. The people who build wealth consistently, over time, live by rules. These rules are not sexy, they're not flashy, but they work. And they're unbreakable, not because you can't physically break them, but because if you do, the cost is high. The results are delayed or destroyed. These rules are like the laws of gravity. You don't have to believe in them, but they'll still affect you. Whether you're aware or not, you're already playing a money game. The only question is, are you playing by the winning rules? Imagine two people start with the same income. One lives paycheck to paycheck, reacting emotionally to every whim, spending impulsively, and hoping someday they'll get rich. The other sets up a system, follows a plan, automates investments, and grows steadily. 10 years later, one is still struggling and frustrated. The other is financially independent. The difference, strategic decisions, habits, a set of rules followed with consistency. It's easy to think, well, if I made more money, everything would change. But the truth is, your income is only one part of the equation. If you don't have the right behaviors and mindset, you'll sabotage yourself no matter how much you make. This is why some people who win the lottery end up broke in a few years. They had money but not mastery. Money doesn't solve money problems, discipline does. Principles do. Strategic, consistent, intentional action. That's what transforms a financial life. When you commit to these unbreakable rules, what you're really doing is choosing to stop drifting. You're choosing to become the architect of your own financial destiny. You're no longer outsourcing your wealth to chance. You're building a foundation so strong that no economy, no crisis, no inflation can take it away from you. That is power, that is freedom. Mastering your psychology around money is the first and most critical step to financial freedom. Most people think wealth starts in the bank account, but it actually starts in the mind. If your internal blueprint around money is built on fear, scarcity, guilt, or self-doubt, it won't matter how much money you earn, you'll never feel secure. You'll sabotage your progress. You'll find ways to spend, lose, or ignore opportunities. That's why people can get a raise and still feel broke. That's why high, Income earners can live in stress and fear of losing it all, because wealth is 80% psychology and only 20% mechanics. So ask yourself, what are the stories you've been telling yourself about money? Were you told that money is the root of all evil, that rich people are greedy, that you don't deserve wealth, that money is hard to get and even harder to keep? These beliefs don't just sit in the background, they shape your decisions every day. They influence how much you save, how you invest, whether you take risks, and even how you feel when you do succeed. True financial freedom starts when you rewire these beliefs. You need to condition your mind to see money not as a source of stress, but as a tool for impact. A tool for contribution, a tool for growth. Money doesn't make you good or bad. It makes you more of what you already are. If you're generous, it amplifies your generosity. If you're fearful, it amplifies your fear. That's why the work must begin inside. You must learn to feel worthy of wealth, to see abundance as your natural state, to stop treating success like something for other people. Visualization, journaling, affirmations. These aren't just motivational fluff. They're tools to reset your internal thermostat, because your external results will always align with your internal expectations. Raise your expectations, and your results will follow. Start seeing yourself as someone who attracts wealth, creates value, and stewards resources with wisdom. That identity shift is the root of lasting change. You must make your money work for you, not the other way around. Wealth comes from leverage. Most people are stuck in a system where they trade time for money. They go to work, clock in, and get paid based on hours. That's fine to start, but it's not a wealth strategy. Time is finite. You can't duplicate it. You can't save it in a bank. So if your income is tied to your hours, your growth is capped. Real wealth happens when you decouple income from time and start using leverage. Leverage means putting systems, capital, and other people's time to work in a way that multiplies your outcomes. It means that while you sleep, your investments are growing. While you're on vacation, your business is generating revenue. While you're working on one project, your real estate is appreciating, your dividends are paying, your digital assets are selling. That's money working for you. It begins by building income streams that don't require constant input. That could be rental properties, stock portfolios, automated online businesses, intellectual property, or affiliate income. It could be something as simple as investing in an S&P 500 index fund consistently and letting compounding do the heavy lifting. The key is to stop thinking like a laborer and start thinking like an investor. Stop asking, how can I earn more per hour? And start asking, how can I multiply the value I create beyond my hours? Leverage also means using debt strategically, not consumer debt that drains you, but investment debt that builds assets. The wealthy understand how to borrow to build, not to consume. They know that money has velocity, and when you direct that flow wisely, it builds momentum. They don't just make money, they multiply it. Discipline beats desire. Your habits, not your hopes, build your bank account. Everyone wants to be wealthy. Everyone wants to be financially free, but desire alone doesn't build wealth. Discipline does. It's not about how badly you want it. It's about how consistently you're willing to act when you don't feel like it. That's what separates the wealthy from the wishful. Discipline means automating your savings even when the bills feel tight. It means sticking to your investment plan even when the market dips. It means saying no to instant gratification so you can say yes to long-term freedom. It's turning off the impulse to upgrade your lifestyle every time your income increases. It's being more committed to outcomes than emotions. Habits are the infrastructure of wealth. They're boring, they're simple, but they're powerful. You don't get rich from one big move. You get rich from 1,000 tiny moves made consistently. From tracking your spending, reviewing your goals, saying no to debt, investing automatically, living below your means, these habits don't feel heroic, but they are, because they create compounding results. And compounding is where true transformation lives. You want to know why most people stay broke? It's not because they lack intelligence, it's because they lack consistency. They jump from strategy to strategy, from excitement to distraction, from panic to avoidance. But the wealth builders play the long game. They put their head down, they follow the plan, and they stick with it. Year after year, even when it's boring, especially when it's boring, the ultimate wealth isn't just financial. It's the freedom to live life on your terms. Money is never the final destination. It's the vehicle. What you really want is not piles of cash. It's the freedom to wake up every day and choose. Choose where you live. Choose how you work. Choose who you spend your time with. Choose what you give to. Choose how you contribute. That's the ultimate goal. Choice, autonomy, ownership of your time, and that's what real wealth gives you. It's not just about being rich, it's about being free. Because what good is a massive bank account if you're still trapped in a life you don't love? What good is a fat paycheck if you never see your family, if you're constantly stressed, if you're a slave to someone else's schedule? Freedom is the real ROI, and it's bought with decisions made over years, with sacrifices, with strategy, with vision. And when you build wealth with intention, not only do you free yourself, you also free others. You become a force for good. You have the ability to create jobs, fund missions, support your loved ones, and give in ways that truly make an impact. You shift from surviving to leading, and here's the best part, that kind of wealth, that kind of freedom, it's not just for the elite. It's for you right now, no matter where you're starting, no matter what your income is. No matter what mistakes you've made, the path is available, the principles are proven, the only thing left is your commitment.